the best crime books of all time. These books are the best? Let's find out. Although some people may think the crime fiction genre is overrated, the appeal of a book about a cruel killer, a serial killer, or other terrible villains may prove to be an intoxicating delight. For today's video, we are going to be talking about the best crime novels of all time. So without further ado, let's dive right in. 7. In Cold Blood by Truman Capote. First up on our list is In Cold Blood by Truman Capote. 4 members of the Clutter family, who ran a farm in Kansas, were fatally murdered inside their house in 1959. Interviews with those who knew the victims and the criminals are woven throughout In Cold Blood's narrative of the murders and the detectives who hunted them. It was studied by award-winning authors Truman Capote and Harper Lee, and its ability to vividly describe every aspect of the murder when it was published changed the true crime book genre. In Cold Blood is still a mainstay on the bookshelves of many true crime lovers, despite the criticism it has faced for adding color to some of the factual elements to make the book more readable. 6. The Stranger Beside Me by Ann Rule. The next novel on our list is The Stranger Beside Me by Ann Rule. While working at a suicide hotline in the 1970s, aspiring mystery author Ann Rule met Ted Bundy, whom she would later come to regard as a friend. Throughout the time of the serial killer's conviction, trial, and execution for the killings of 30 women, Rule was able to learn more about the serial killer's inner thoughts in life because of this friendship. The Stranger Beside Me is a vivid and fascinating true crime fiction that Rule writes by fusing her own observations of Bundy with in-depth reporting on his crimes. 5. My Dark Places by James Ellroy. Next up on our list, we have My Dark Places by James Ellroy. James Ellroy's mother was killed when he was 10 years old. He wouldn't even confess to liking his mother at the time, but the murder consumed much of his thoughts and eventually drove him to misuse drugs and alcohol as a diversion from the urgent desire to discover who his mother actually was. In My Dark Places, as Ellroy struggles to come to terms with the effects his mother's death had on him, the grim details of an unsolved mystery are mixed with intensely personal confessions. 4. I'll Be Gone in the Dark. One Woman's Obsessive Search for the Golden State Killer by Michelle McNamara. The next book on our list is I'll Be Gone in the Dark. One Woman's Obsessive Search for the Golden State Killer by Michelle McNamara. 40 years after the serial murderer and rapist's initial attack, the authorities finally apprehended the alleged Golden State Killer in April 2018. Detectives spent years attempting in vain to find him, fixating on the more than 50 rapes and at least 12 deaths. But a breakthrough in the investigation occurred when a crime scene's DNA was linked to the killer's great-great-great-grandparents. 30 years after his last crimes, true crime journalist Michelle McNamara joined the hunt. She, too, frantically dug through every scrap of information the internet had to give on the mysterious rapist-turned-murderer. I'll Be Gone in the Dark, a scathing portrayal of a criminal genius and the devastation he wreaked across the state of California, was created from the considerable research and prose she tragically left behind. 3. The Grim Sleeper. The Lost Women of South Central by Christine Pulisic. Next up on our list, we have The Grim Sleeper. The Lost Women of South Central by Christine Pulisic. The instance of the LA is described in great depth by Christine Pulisic. The Grim Sleeper is a serial murderer, as only someone who covered the case for 10 years could label him. He was known as the Grim Sleeper because of the lengthy gaps between each of his victims, all of whom were disadvantaged women of color. The lives of each victim are meticulously described in Pulisic's book, which also offers a larger tale about homicide investigations in areas plagued by gang violence and extreme poverty. The book exposes the harsh reality that victims discovered in high-crime neighborhoods are frequently ignored by the police and the media, which is probably how a serial murderer was able to go unchecked for 20 years. 2. Missoula, Rape and Justice in a College Town by Jon Krakauer. The next novel on our list is Missoula, Rape and Justice in a College Town by Jon Krakauer. The renowned investigative journalist Jon Krakauer visits Missoula, home of the University of Montana. The school is renowned for its rigorous academic program, peaceful environment, and sizable Grizzlies football team following. Yet rape victims find it challenging to come forward due to a system that is hidden under the traditional trappings of a campus community. In Missoula, Krakauer speaks with a number of women and details the rapes they experienced there, as well as their self-doubt during the legal proceedings and the price they pay for speaking out. Anyway, this wraps up our video for today. What do you think about this? Let us know in the comments section down below. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel while you're at it.